Hey, this is Mike, the creator and host of Mike No-Go Zones. And in this video, I'm going to give you the director's cut and behind the scenes of episode 4, New Orleans.
There are certainly areas of high crime in Europe, as there are in the United States and other countries. No-Go Zone.
The history of New Orleans, I'm a big fan of it. I love not only the history, but the culture, the food, the people there. The music scene there is amazing. I mean, they gave us, it's a city that gave so much to us, but yet, I think it's America's turn to return the favor. It's a city that gave us jazz music. Whether you like old jazz or newer artists like Lil Wayne, I mean, we'll have roots in New Orleans. Now, food-wise, I mean, where do I even start? The Creole food, I'm a big fan of. I love red beans and rice. I love beignets. I love the coffee there. It is just, if you're a foodie like I am, New Orleans is definitely, you can say, like the mecca of Creole food, in my opinion. Okay, well, the city of New Orleans has a very rich history, like Baltimore, like many other cities. But the lower Ninth Ward, where this episode was focused on, really did not get any attention until Hurricane Katrina destroyed it. And the lion's share of attention goes to the French Quarter, the Garden District, all that, but I really wanted to film in the lower Ninth Ward to see like how has it recovered from the hurricane, and was it as bad as the media said it was, because the way they portrayed it was this horrible ghetto of looting and rioting, and it's a very impoverished place. But what I discovered that was before the hurricane, it had one of the highest rates of black home ownership in the whole state of Louisiana, and conveniently, the media always left that fact out. My impression of New Orleans, actually it's a city I'm very familiar with. I spent a lot of time there with a previous employer I had, but I was more familiar with the touristy areas or the suburbs like Metairie and Kenner, because that's where I mostly worked. But I didn't know much about the lower Ninth Ward. So when I went there to film, I was pleasantly surprised on seeing some of the new homes there that were built. I was really put a smile on my face when I saw all the new houses there. Now, of course, I'm not going to sugarcoat it and say everything was perfect. There's still some roads that need to be fixed, and there's still quite a few empty lots in some places. But I do see the lower Ninth Ward definitely on the rise again. And it's something that's sadly overlooked by most people. It was not as bad as the media made it out to be. I saw homes being tended to. I saw kids playing outside. I saw people taking care of their yards. I did not see the horror show that the media told me to fear. I'm a big fan of museums, and while I was in New Orleans, if you watch again in the episode, I do go to the lower Ninth Ward Museum, and I definitely spent some time in there reading everything, and that museum actually helped me do further research into the neighborhood as to why it was portrayed so poorly in the media. And I'll always be grateful to them. They were really kind enough to let me interview one of the curators there. Okay, the person that had the most impact during my visit, though, was Gail Hardy, a very kind, gracious lady who gave me her own personal tour of the lower Ninth Ward and her own personal story that went along with what happened to her. And if you watch the episode, you will see her a really kind person who took time out of her day to show me what she went through. And she definitely put a human face on the catastrophe that neighborhood went through. And I'll always be grateful to her. The neighborhood, while filming there, I discovered the neighborhood of the Bywater. Really love that area. Two of my favorite places were there and were featured in the video. One is Parlot Beer Lab, great craft brewery, and if you watch my episodes, I'm a big craft beer geek, so that place was really good. And the other venue was Bacchanal. Bacchanal is probably one of the best wine bars in the country, not just in New Orleans. They have live jazz, a huge garden. It's a place you can definitely spend day or night there. I love that place. Their spirit is alive and well. They are rebuilding, they're looking forward. I met someone in the construction business at Mercedes Place there in the lower Ninth Ward, and he rehabs houses, and needless to say, he's been very busy. His name is Barry Buxton, and really great guy, and I wish him the best. He's a very busy man because he's constantly rehabbing houses, but I really admire his spirit. He's definitely looking forward to helping the city out. And that goes for everybody that I met in New Orleans. I did not have one negative experience. Everybody's, we're all looking forward, ready to turn the page on the tragedy that happened. And we're all looking forward, and I really admire, you know, it was very contagious to me on how optimistic everybody is. What I discovered in the Lower Ninth Ward was people taking pride in their homes. I saw manicured lawns. I saw people building their homes back, and it wasn't the ghetto or the horror show that we saw after the hurricane hit. I saw something totally different, and unfortunately, all the cameras are gone now because after what happened, and no one is broadcasting any of the good things happening there. It's only, you know, it seems like after the hurricane, everybody left. And now that's why I wanted to go back there and show the world what became of the Lower Ninth Ward. This is Mike from Mike No-Go Zones, and this is the director's cut and behind the scenes of episode 4, New Orleans. I totally recommend you watch the full episode, and if you want to see more content, please go check it out, hit like, leave a comment. Thanks.